What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Jiffy TV here. Now, I just kind of want to give my impressions and my takeaway from the Destiny 2 beta. Now, I'm a longtime player. I played the original beta of Destiny 1. That was it. I'm just kidding. I did play, for I want to say at least 2.5 years. I mean, I kind of skipped the Taken King for a while there. I don't really want to get into too much detail on it because I will just ramble on and just sound really salty about the pricing of that DLC. I'll just say I did not care for the way it was handled. But, moving on. Now, I did follow all of the gameplay reveal, leading up to the actual beta. I followed all the channels, More Console, Biff, Unknown Player, Dado, Houndish, watched the E3 gameplay reveals, so I had a pretty good idea of what it was going to be like, playing the Destiny 2 beta. Now, actually getting into the beta, I want to say it felt familiar and it felt foreign. I don't agree with what a lot of people have said about the PvE changes, mostly because we have not had a chance to really, judge it. I mean, first impressions, yes, but Bungie says this is an old build that was in the beta. I don't really buy that, because why the fuck would you have an old build for the beta? Why would you not put a more current build, or the build that you plan to watch out, to get feedback on the build that's going to be released? It doesn't make sense to me. So, whatever. I personally did not have any problems with the way PvE was playing, and I did not have any problems with the way PvP was playing, because to me, one thing Bungie has always done right is, the way their shooters are handled. They're easy to pick up and run with, but it does take a little bit of skill to actually master it. That said, I do prefer their precision and endurance fights, over something like, let's say, Call of Duty or Battlefield, where it's more of, a patience or a quick shot. Let's say Battlefield is more of patience, because you can't really run and gun, and, Call of Duty is more of a, let's see if we can get the quicker shot out. But, before the mobs come lynching for me and I get too far off topic, which I tend to do, I'm going to get back on to my impressions of the actual gameplay. So I found myself, coming into the actual PvP aspect, my gun kind of felt like it was just slinging around, all crazy at first. But I adjusted to it pretty quickly. I felt like you did have to really be on point with your shots. You could not run and gun the same way that you could in Destiny 2. I like that, but it doesn't feel like it took away from the game as far as, how fast it's going to move. It felt like the Crucible is still going to be, at a pretty decent pace. Something I am happy about. As far as, the abilities, how long it takes to build those up and use them. I do like that it's not going to be getting spammed, whereas, let's say in Destiny 1, there is potential to get it up to 3 times. So I don't want to see something like Mayhem come back in Destiny 2. I have no interest in that, because at its core, Destiny is a shooter, so the focus should be on the guns. You're not fucking superheroes, and I think that's something that was really taken for granted in Year 3 meta, because, God, I cannot stand Year 3 meta. I am sick of turning the corner and just getting blasted by a goddamn palindrome every time. So I do like how everything seems really balanced. There are some things I'm not too happy about, as far as the rolls on the weapons are all going to be the same. That kind of takes away a little bit of the individuality of the weapons, your build, your character, their loadout. But overall, I guess I'm okay with it. We'll see in the final product when it's released. Because I do feel like every gun, regardless of what you choose, whether it's a kinetic or energy weapon that is your main preference, whether it's a pulse rifle, scout rifle, shotgun, well, I want to say shotgun, that's a power weapon now, um, scout rifle, when I say scout rifle, auto rifle, SMG, you know, all of these things have a very similar time to kill, so it's really going to come down to your playstyle, your preference, that's going to really make the difference and make it shine for you. So I'm pretty happy with the changes that were made in PvP. That's my takeaway from that. As far as PvE, like I said, we haven't really had enough time to judge it. I do feel, just from the impressions, that everything does feel a little bit spongy. And, we'll see how that plays out with all the abilities that you have to use, especially going into something with like a raid setting, or going into, one of these events with a locked loadout, which is going to be interesting considering how spongy everything was feeling. So I'm looking forward to see how that plays out. Bungie really does listen to their community. That's how we got to year 3. So let's try to keep that, outcry to a minimal, and let's really get to see what the game feels like. But, my takeaway, I'm really impressed with how polished it felt, even in the beta. It really did feel like a new game, but an old game. It felt like the Destiny that we know and love, or that you know and hate, but a little better, in my opinion. So, again, that's just my opinion, just an average gamer. But let me know, what did you guys think about the beta? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Fuck Bungie? Let me know. Anyways, like and subscribe. I'll be putting out new content weekly, maybe daily. I do what I can. We're going to talk about everything from games to anime, and basically games and anime. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. That's really what I'm going to talk about. But again, let me know how you felt. If there's anything else you would actually like me to talk about in the future, leave a comment down below. I will be doing actual reviews on shows and games in the future. But just consider this, kind of my introduction. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. If you took the time to listen, I will catch you next time.